ever said Facebook leads don't work, you've just been running the wrong system. I'm going to show you how one agent generated 58 leads, 47 appointments, and got 2 closings under contract in 30 days, spending just $429. I'll walk you through the exact $10 a day campaign and the scripts and frameworks you can copy today. The thing is, you don't need more leads, you need more appointments. The top agents aren't better closers, they're just better at creating opportunities. Fastlead.io exists for one reason: to give agents systems that convert appointments automatically. Let me show you how. So there's 3 steps we need to break down when creating this system. So the first thing is the $10 a day ad structure. The second thing is the 5-step speed to lead text script. And the third thing, which is most important, is the AI appointment setter that books appointments while you sleep. So here's the setup we use in every market. So to set up the $10 a day ad structure, the first thing is the objective. And the objective of the campaign is going to be a lead form, which is what we also call an instant form. These are done through Facebook. You can set these up directly through Ads Manager, but the goal is, we're going to be running a campaign and they're going to instantly be taken to a form where they can put their name, number, and their email. The second thing that we need to keep in mind when it comes to this ad structure is we need a very strong headline. And we need to think when people are on social media or when they're scrolling, this is what we call disruptive marketing. So what kind of headline can we have to resonate with them quickly so that way they stop on the ad and they want to read more? So some examples could be tired of scrolling Zillow, get access to homes before they even hit the market. One that we really like to use right now is new builds. So if you're leveraging new build communities or advertising new build communities, one of the best ways to get into a more sophisticated buyer's market is to talk about interest rates. So, you can say something like new build homes starting at 3.99% interest rate, something to really catch the buyer's attention to want to stop and take a look at what else you have to offer them when it comes to that campaign. The third thing is the primary text. We want to just make sure we're telling them one specific thing that they're going to be doing and one action step for them to get the extra information or to learn more about these specific communities. And the images that work best for this is the actual communities or pictures of homes. I've seen a lot of times when it comes to advertising for real estate leads, one of the biggest problems is we'll put a picture of ourselves. You'll put a picture of someone purchasing a home or buying a home, getting keys. The number one way to grab a buyer's attention is to show them photos of homes. So hack that I like to use, and it actually converts at a much higher level, is front end images of homes with a big blue background in the sky. Also nice photos of like the kitchens, the backyard, the bathrooms. Those type of images seem to convert at the highest level, and almost putting them into a collage style. So you can pick different images, you can test them, put different variations out and see which one will actually get the lowest cost per click. And then after that, you're going to be spending that $10 a day to target the specific city or area that you're in. So the way Facebook works is it'll actually let you target any specific area. You can even pinpoint somewhere on the map when you're advertising online, and you can advertise in a 15-mile radius. This gives you a little bit more control of, where the ads are going, who's going to be seeing your leads. So that way you're getting local people who are interested in these new build communities or the offer that you're leading with for the buyers. And here's the biggest thing. The goal isn't the cheapest leads. Although we generate leads from as low as, $5 to around $10, the goal is having as many quality conversations as possible. And like I said, we aim for anywhere from $5 to $10 cost per leads. And we want the lead form completion to be anywhere from 30 to 40%. So if we go to my screen here, this is an example of one of the campaigns that we're running. So if you see right here, we have new build home buyers campaign ads. We're generating around $6.94 leads. And as we go through the campaign, you're going to notice, this is a lead form campaign. So on the front end, we're actually doing special ad category. Always remember to put housing or else it will flag your ad and then it won't go live. The next thing is actually picking the type of ad that you're going to be doing. So we have the budget here. We have it at $15. But the next thing right here is instant form. So this is letting them know, hey, Facebook, please put this in front of people that are going to want to put their name, number, and email into the form. So we have that there. And then if you can see down here, if we scroll towards the bottom, we actually have the location, which is right here for this one. We have Kissimmee. Windermere, Winter Garden, and it's all within a 15-mile radius because that's where we know these communities are, and this is how far out we're advertising for them. Facebook doesn't let you go less than 15 miles. There are ways you can use custom ad strategies and create a custom audience, but for this campaign, we're going to be using the 15-mile radius specifically. The next thing we're going to look at is the different type of ad images. So as you guys can tell, we're doing the collages. So we have different hooks on here, like limited time Florida Dream Home offer. Here's what you get. So that's our hook for this one. We have a picture of the front of the home, blue sky in the back, kitchen, and then we have the layout. This one right here, very similar. We have a 2-story home. And then this last one, we have something similar too. But if you notice, we're trying different hooks, trying different images to see which one will actually resonate and generate the highest quality and lowest cost lead possible. So what if your family could live where others vacation with $25,000 less out of pocket? That's how we're getting them to stop on the scroll. For this one, it's skyrocketing mortgage rates, keeping your family from paradise. The next one is limited time, $25,000 towards closing on new construction luxury homes. And so as you can see here, with the way the current market is right now, you can have a very strong offer on the front end to get buyers to raise their hand and say, yes, I'd like to learn more about this opportunity or this community, and they will actually give you their information. One of the biggest things too is the only reason lead quality is bad is people don't actually want to get that information, or it's not important for them to receive it in their main point of contact. So, if you want them to give you the right number, if you want them to give you the right email, you need to put something together where they want to get their hands on this material. So they're going to make sure they double check the data, or they double check their information and they're putting in the right phone number and email. Step 2 is going to be text speed to lead. And this is a complete game changer. 78% of closings come from a lead being contacted within the first 5 minutes. Our specific script has 5 text messages within just 48 hours. And the goal of this is to actually engage a conversation and hopefully get the AI to start interacting with that lead. So the first one can be like, hey, in the Phoenix metro home area, just curious, are you looking in that area specifically, or are you open to other areas as well? This will allow them to respond, give you their feedback. Oh, I'm also open to XYZ city. This is an easy way for them to respond without you really asking for much. So the second step is the speed to lead. So we want to make sure we're reaching out to the leads very quickly. So that way we can re-engage them with AI and, have a conversation with this potential buyer. So the first message we like to send out is like, hey, John, thanks for your interest in the new builds here in Arizona. The good news is that you can get lower interest rates depending on which builder you go with. A vast majority also offer a good chunk of closing costs. I've had clients get into properties with very little money down to qualify to my list of incentives, as well as an additional move-in bonus on top of all of those incentives. Please text me over your top cities or zip codes that you are interested in. So this is the first message that we like to send out. The second message, if they don't respond, we want to show a little more personalization. So we'll just say, let me know with a smiley face after 10 minutes, which gets a pretty high response rate. But after that, we're going to keep texting them other things until they start engaging. If you see here, the third message is, hey, John, hope you're having an awesome day. I'd like to send you some more homes like the ones you looked at initially with great incentives. Can you let me know what area you're looking in? So we want to keep engaging with the lead. And this is where the power of automation and AI comes in, because you don't have to rely on someone doing it for you. The system implements it itself. So now the lead finally responded. Yes, please. We really look forward to hearing from you. This is where AI then will fire off and start working your leads. But before we get into the AI, we do need to keep a couple things in mind. So we are constantly texting these leads, for the next 14 days until we get a response. The average response time sometimes takes up to 17 times before the lead gets back to you. So this involves calling, texting, and even emails as well. The next thing is we need to always be re-engaging these leads too. So as you guys are building your database, you should be sending out, additional texts of new properties or new communities you've heard of that week, or a property of the week. You should be emailing that out to your database as well. But we always want to be re-engaging the leads so we can have them raise their hand again. When they raise their hand, it's basically them saying, hey, I want to learn more. I want to have a conversation with you. The last thing is we always want to create some level of scarcity. So telling them that if there's a new build community with only 3 properties left, make sure to promote that. If there's a buyer program that is only going to be available for the next 30 days, make sure you promote that. We want to give them a sense of urgency. So if they're on the fence and they're thinking, hey, I'll just wait 60, 90 days, they will want to act now. The sequence positions you to be more of a proactive agent, and it shows your local expertise when it comes to the properties and the communities in the area. So now let's jump back into the AI. So we now have the ad that's actually attracting the people to actually raise their hand and give you their information. Once they go into your database, we're now emailing them and texting them for 14 days straight. Now the last thing is going to be making sure you actually have an AI to actually follow up with your leads. So this is where the magic happens. Our AI that we use is set up directly inside of our Fast Lead CRM, but this is where you're going to actually start seeing conversations with the buyer whenever they respond. So the AI is trained. It's had years of conversations that we've had, our agents have had with buyers. And the goal is to figure out where they're at in their buying journey and then scheduling a discovery call with the agent. The goal is, text messages, get them on a 5 to 15 minute phone call. So that way you can book an actual buyer consultation, get them pre-qualified, and then you can figure out the next steps while working with them. And here's why it's very important. Speed to lead is everything. So it texts your leads immediately, and upon response, it can respond within seconds. You can adjust it to respond every 30 seconds, but it's going to make sure that you're covering the speed to lead aspect of your lead follow-up. The second thing is it actually tracks your replies. So you're going to be able to see the conversations going on and how far it went into discovery. The third thing is it actually checks your calendar. So imagine AI reaching out to your leads, figuring out the area they're looking in, the price point, 2-story, 1-story, how soon they're looking, and then it's actually going to take a look at your calendar, find your available time slots, and let that buyer know that you have tomorrow at 2 p.m. or 4 p.m. available, which one works best for them. Once they give you the time, it'll actually book that call directly on your calendar for you. So that way they just start getting reminders of when their call is, and that whole process from the lead coming into your database all the way to the booked initial call is all automated through the automations and having the AI respond to the lead as well. And the last one is one of the hidden secrets that I feel like a lot of agents overlook. And this is actually hitting your warm leads to re-engage them to create warmer conversations for either yourself or your ISA. And this is all without them touching the phone. So if we go over here, this is an example of, what AI can do. Do you have any preferred cities? I currently live in Superior, open to almost anywhere. Thanks for sharing. Do you prefer single story or 2-story? This guy said he's looking in Buckeye. Buckeye's a great choice. Lots of new builds and incentives there. Do you prefer single story or 2-story? So it still wants to get the question, 1-story. Perfect. Then after that, it's like, what are the best deals for you? It shows the price range, how many bedrooms. Thanks, that helps a lot. When are you hoping to make your move? There's a home that needs to be sold, not sure soon. So now we know that this lead has a home to sell. We know their timeline and what they're looking for as well, and what area. After this, it says, makes sense. Are you planning to sell your current home before buying, or would you consider buying first if the right deal comes up? Again, this is all AI working these leads for you. So that way you have all of this information beforehand. And then it's like, I found some homes, was really looking good, maybe. Then it's like, and then after that, it's like, this community has some solid options and often great incentives. Would you like to see more in more of these homes in this specific area? Or are you open to other builders too? If all the stars all align up perfectly. Totally get it. Timing is everything. And so they go into more conversation, and it's finding out the discovery. And as you can see here, it actually will show them what times are actually available for that agent. So the goal is to go through all this discovery and build this rapport with the client, so that way, believe it or not, it'll actually increase the pickup rate when you're calling that lead too, because they've already had a conversation with you. I've noticed right now more than ever, people prefer to text over calling. So it's nice to have this AI in place to work your leads before actually having the initial phone call. And I just want to give you guys an example. So we have an agent named Eddie. He spent $429 in ad spend. He got 58 leads, 47 appointments, and 2 deals closed within 30 days. He didn't write the ads, he didn't have to manage the campaigns, and he didn't have to follow up with his leads manually. We handled everything. He just showed up to the appointment with pre-qualified buyers. So here's your 3-day plan if you want to launch something like this. Day 1, launch your ads. So figure out what is it that you want to advertise, what do you want to start getting out in the market, and start running that campaign to get yourself in front of more buyer opportunities. Day 2, if you have any past leads, upload them to a database where you can leverage AI to actually work those leads for you. This is exactly how we helped Eddie book all of these appointments in just 30 days. He had leads that he's been generating for the past year. We created a re-engagement text. It's very similar to the initial text we sent out on the ad when people opt in, got people to respond, and then AI started working those leads. For day 3, you're going to want to make sure that you have a sequence in place to follow up with your new leads coming in. So text messages, emails, I highly recommend 14 days straight of contact, and I'll attach the same exact 14-day sequence that we use with our clients to make sure they're converting leads at the highest level, but within 72 hours. But the goal for this is after you have all of this in place, you can start tracking your metrics and figuring out what's your cost per lead, what's your cost per booking, and then what's your cost per closing. If you want us to build and run this entire system for you, the ads, the AI, the CRM, and the follow-up, that's literally what we do over at fastlead.io. Click the link below, schedule your lead gen audit call, and we'll map out your ads, your AI, your follow-up automations completely free.